for the wonderful introduction. I think we should give a round of applause for ourselves because y'all have clearly chosen a conscious, gamble with your mind by coming here on a Sunday where you could have gone otherwise to chill with your friends and family. So a big round of applause for yourselves for coming in here and making it. I see so many people who choose fun over work and don't have that conscious decision made in their early years, which they regret in hindsight in future. And I was one of those in college. So I'm gonna play an exercise with you to begin with. How many of y'all have had this question in mind before starting anything? That what if I fail? I think having that doubt is very, very, very normal because I started my journey with this question that what if I fail? At the age of 18, I was doing barely anything. I come from a small town in Maharashtra. You might not even have heard, but it's called Pachora. And whenever I used to say that I'm from Pachora to my friends in Bombay, they used to literally laugh at me. And they would be like, which part of this village are you coming from? And do you even know how to speak in English? Because I barely knew how to speak in English back then. And this was not too long ago. It was just like 6-7 years back. And today I'm here speaking in English in front of you. So it's a massive change for me also to know that how did I do it. And that's something that I'm here to share with all of you guys because everybody of you must be having some insecurities within you, which might be stopping you from starting something, right? And that insecurity is something that I want all of you to think about right now. That what is that one thing that is stopping you from achieving your goal, whatever it is that you set for yourself in life. And by the end of this talk, you should be having an answer to solving that insecurity for yourself. Because I believe that even one story, one conversation, or one personality can change your mindset towards achieving what you want. So I hope I can give you solutions to finding your answers by the end of it. But coming back to my story, when I came to Bombay at the age of 18, I was alone in the city. I had nobody to look up to. And, I didn't even have friends in college. As sad as it might sound, it turned out to be a very good opportunity for me to meet new people and learn from people from various backgrounds. Because at that young age, as you guys are, it's very difficult to be by yourself, right? You feel like you have lost in life. You are like a headless chicken going nowhere. Nobody is asking for you on the weekends. And you are just left by yourself. So that is how my life used to look back then. And I used to wonder and question this to God, that why is this happening to me? I've never been like this ever in my life before. I come from a joint family. I've had friends all over my life. But when I came to Bombay, everything changed. And I thought to myself that either I can view this opportunity as glass half full or half empty. And I always looked at it as glass half empty, although you might think, she might have thought in a positive way, and that's how she made it, but that's not true. I had so many self-doubts, and I didn't even know what to do. And there is a saying that when you जब कुछ पाने की इच्छा पूरे कायनात से हो तो सारा का सारा universe makes it happen for you. So I think that is what happened with me. I just put it out in the universe. I played that conscious gamble with my mind, that either I can do something about this or I can cry. And there is a saying which all of you might have seen on Instagram because आजकल सब लोग reels पे ही होते हैं that you can either cry in your house or cry in your Ferrari. So I chose the latter because I think it's always better to have money and be upset because I think money can solve for most of the things in your life. It's a lie that people say that money can't buy you happiness. And that is one myth that you should all break today in your life because 50 years from now, 20 years from now, you will question yourself. ये कौन था जिसने मेरे को बोला कि money can't buy you happiness? I mean, you will be like cursing that person. So let me clear that up straight. And I told that to myself also. My family told me that money doesn't matter, beta. You should go for what you like. You shouldn't care about the world. And I was like, okay, देखते हैं ये कितनी देर तक चलेगा. And clearly I realized within 1 week only that it's not helping out anyway. And I decided to then start writing on LinkedIn out of nowhere. Now you might be thinking that, how did I even have LinkedIn as an option in my mind? because there would be platforms like Snapchat, Instagram, and Facebook that my friends and you guys would also be on. Like back then, I barely had any peer of mine on LinkedIn, and I just had one person supporting me, and that person was my inner voice, not anybody else. And that is something that I want to highlight to you here. That when nobody is there for you, when the world isn't there for you, how do you find a world within yourself and understand what is it that you really are built for in this life? Like, what is your purpose for being here? It might sound very philosophical and rubbish, but I think y'all are also here sitting for a reason. You could have easily been in any other place having a nice brunch with a wine with your friend, but y'all are somehow sitting here listening to me and other speakers today. And I'm sure you're going to reflect back on what you took from here later on. But, when I started writing on LinkedIn, I barely had anything in my mind, what will I write on? And, you might not even think that today, after having like 2 lakh followers, what I wrote on as a first post, you'll be shocked to hear. I wrote something on sun, moon, and stars, something that a person would write as a nursery rhyme in their, school, in kindergarten. That is something that I wrote on LinkedIn for the first time at the age of 18. Something that really shook people and my friends. They made more fun of me. पहले मजाक तो बनाते ही थे, उसके बाद और शुरू हो गए कि क्या लिख रही है, कुछ काम धंधा नहीं है क्या, all of those things that our friends keep on saying. And I was like, ये तो बड़ी बेइज्जती हो गई, अब क्या करें, like what should you do next? And that post, by the way, just got 3 likes. And my friend told me that कम से कम 3 लोगों ने तुमको attention तो दिया है. The post wasn't even worthy of 1 person, reading it. And I was like, बात तो सही है ये. I mean, you can actually think of it as 3 people giving so much of energy to read that rubbish post of yours. So just imagine if you do this consistently, how will it turn out? And that's what I told myself. I didn't have anybody telling me that you do this consistently, you will go, rise higher in life, you will get so many opportunities out of LinkedIn. Nobody told me this, and you'll be surprised to know that my own parents told me during lockdown when I was not having a job, I was graduated, that beta, why are you wasting your time on LinkedIn? कहीं जाके नौकरी करो, इससे पैसा थोड़ी आने वाला है. You're wasting your time. And I was like, अरे ऐसी बात नहीं है, मुझे थोड़ा time दो, I will prove you wrong. And like nobody supported me, my family also. They were like, you just whiling away your time. And I really didn't care about that. And I think that is what has helped me a lot. That you have to be really a rebel kid in your life to achieve something. You can't just follow the rules of society and think what your even close ones are saying. If you believe that you can do it. And that's why I did it, and it's been now like 6 years that I've been consistently writing on LinkedIn almost like every day. And that's how I've like amassed a following of more than 2 lakh now, from barely 2 people liking my post, 3 people liking my post. And, the turning point in my life was when in 2021, the managing editor of LinkedIn, he wrote to me an email that, you've been nominated to be shortlisted as India's youngest LinkedIn top voice. So why don't you fill up a form and we'll get back to you. तो मुझे पहले तो लगा कि मुझे तो मिल गया है, I didn't read the word nomination, you know how it works, right? कुछ मिलता है तो you're like आधी चीज पढ़ेंगे जो अच्छी है और आधी भूल जाएंगे. So I was already celebrating. And then my sister told me that, wait a minute, just read the whole email. Don't be too happy too soon. Don't count your chicken before they hatch. So that's what happened, and I was like, ठीक है, ये form कौन भरेगा, it was so much of details that were required in the form. But I was like, चलो, let's take a shot at it, कुछ हो ना हो, देखा जाएगा. So I just filled the form, and after 20 days, I still remember the date. It was December when I filled the form, somewhere around 25th of December. And in January, first week of 2021, I get an email saying that congratulations, you've been recognized as a LinkedIn top voice. And I found myself to be the youngest in the list. I'm like questioning myself again, that self-doubt never goes away somehow. You're always thinking, ki ye kaise mil gaya mujhe? Am I deserving of it? So that's what I questioned to the managing editor, ki why did you choose me out of all the people to be featured on the list. And he told me that it's nothing got to do with your age, your experience, your work, but the only thing that mattered was your consistency with which you wrote quality posts on LinkedIn. And I was like shocked to hear that. I was like, इतनी सी चीज करनी होती तो बाकी लोग क्यों नहीं करते हैं? I mean, everybody can reach to the platform, but nobody really takes that first step of just being consistent. And that's where I learned the first and the biggest lesson of my life, that how consistency in whatever you do with great quality can just help you achieve great heights. In Neeraj Chopra's interview also, if you saw, he said that मुझे लगा था that I'll throw 90 meter and I ended up throwing 89 meter, but I still believe I will throw 90 meter in the upcoming Olympic in 2028. And I was like, this man is just really unstoppable. No matter he's won gold before and silver now, he's just like, I still believe I can do better. And I think that consistency with which you think within yourself that you are never reaching the peak and there is so much more better to do, I think that is what defines success for you and your life goals. I mean, how many of you have had goals which you had set in school and now you already achieve it? At that age, if you can control your mind into believing that what you've set for yourself, you can do it, it's a massive achievement. Because I think the one and the only thing that stops us from achieving our full potential is our mind. And that is what the whole theme here is also about, that how do you control your inner voice which keeps on telling you कि अरे आज क्या जल्दी उठना है, अरे ये मीटिंग में क्यों जाना है, ये प्रोक्रेस्टिनेट कर देते हैं, बाद में करते हैं, आज मैं दोस्तों के साथ चिल करूँगी, ये मेरे लिए इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं है. All of those things your mind plays with yourself, and on top of that, how do you really overcome that is something that will really define you in long term. And for me, it has been that. When I, after that, getting the top voice badge on LinkedIn and everything, I thought to myself कि अभी career तो इसमें नहीं बनेगा, right? I mean, followers से किसका career बना है आजकल? जो भी influencers हैं, वो आगे जाके what they do, you all know and we all know. So I was like, influencer तो नहीं बनना है मुझे. There needs to be something more than that. And luckily enough, because I've always been open to opportunities, a law firm partner wrote to me on my LinkedIn. And he said that you write really good content. Would you want to join us? And I was like, मैंने तो BMS किया है in marketing. I've not even studied finance. How do you think that I can join a law firm with you and grow it from scratch? In fact, I was the first employee that he was hiring when he started the law firm. And I was like, this doesn't sound right. I mean, what will I do in the law firm? And again, I had this question in my mind, which I started with initially, that what if I fail? Because it's very important to choose the right career after you graduate. Because if you choose a wrong path, not like you can't start again, but the time is very less, and it's very important to go with the right speed in the right direction. And I was like, what will my career look like? Because I'm switching all over from marketing, and I'd studied science, by the way, in my college in 11th and 12th. I've not even done commerce. From science to then marketing to now law firm, how will it look like? I was so scared. But he was like, don't worry, we will handhold you and we will, make you a great leader within the firm. And this was, by the way, when I was just 20 years old. And I took the leap of faith. I went to the law firm, and on day one, this is like very interesting. On day one, they told me to write on privatization of railways. अभी रेलवे तो मेरे को बस लोकल ट्रेन और वो स्टेशन तक ही पता था. What is this privatization? It was something out of the blue. And I was like, I can't write content like this. I think that we should respect each other's time and call it a day, because I don't think so this work will work out for me. And the partner who wrote to me, and he's my mentor now, by the way, he told me that don't worry, if you're not liking this, we have something else for you. I'm like, if this man is not giving up on me, who am I to give up on myself? And you need some person someday in your life to show you the mirror that, you have much more potential than what you think. And that mirror for me was that guy in the law firm who's now my mentor, because of whom I have been able to start an enterprise at this age and been able to defy the rules of investment banking, because Everybody tells me that what are you doing in investment banking at the age of 24? Those are meant for people at the age of 42, when you already experienced how founders work, how investors work, how the deals are done. How will you make it work for you? And I was like, I don't think so that your concepts and your ideologies matter. What matters is that if I believe I will do it, I will do it, and that's what I've done. I actually made a founder connect with Silicon Valley investors sitting here in India just through my LinkedIn and nothing else. And that founder, he told me that, Radhika, my investment banker, whom I'm paying a fee, and he's, by the way, some 40, 50-year-old guy, he couldn't reach to the Silicon Valley investors, which you did. And this is something incredible that you've done for me, because I don't know how would I talk to those people otherwise and get their advice on my business. And I was like, ये तो अच्छा है यार, अगर मैं लोगों की मदद कर सकती हूँ मेरे LinkedIn से, so why don't I set up an enterprise where I'm helping all founders day in and day out connect with people? Because not everybody has that ability to reach to the people that they desire for. And within that ecosystem, when I was dealing with founders, I realized that how women founders face a lot of challenges. I mean, women here sitting might also realize that how we have a lot of imposter syndrome within us, that, are we good enough? No wonder their business is making more revenues than a male founded startup. They will always feel that I'm not good enough, and I don't know if my business will be a unicorn one. This is not how women will grow. And I was not like this. When I was starting my career at a very young age, I was very cutthroat, very courageous, and I just wanted to go and just kill it in life, simply. So I was like, I have to encourage other women also to do it. And by the way, these women are not some young women. These women are also like the CEOs, the chairperson of different companies, who feel very awkward to put themselves out on public platforms. And that's how we're changing the narrative also. We do shadow writing for leaders on LinkedIn. We tell them that it's very important for you to put yourself out there. Otherwise, how will younger generation like you learn from them? But and every time I started all of this, I had this question in my mind: what if I fail? But then I also questioned myself and my conscious mind to think that, what if I don't fail? And that is some question that you guys also need to ask yourself, that what if you don't fail, and what if it really works out? And you'll get all your answers to everything that you want in life. Thank you. I mean, Olympics is now going on.